Alright, back. So, yep, Proverbs 1, 1, EP11. Alright, let's go. So, I don't know, I'll do a brief intro. Solomon, wise man, a life full of error, but proof through the living word of God, living proof. Darkness can never overcome the light. Proof. Like, even if it takes 3,000 more years, 5024, they'll repeat this. If they find this video, you show it to your friends, bro. They can never. It's not possible. It's true. It's not. Like, 3,000 years later, I'm using this as proof. How many thousand years later you use this as proof? Like, these guys are clowns, you know? The Nimrods, the Nephilim, the idiots, the prideful, but they've only lived once. Words from the God who has always existed. Okay, let's go. Proverbs 1:1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for learning, wisdom, and discipline, for understanding words of discernment, for acquiring the discipline for success, righteousness, justice, and equity. For endowing the simple with shrewdness, the young with knowledge and foresight. Listen, the simple with shrewdness. What does shrewdness mean? Clear understanding and good judgment of a situation, usually resulting in an advantage. Understanding that gives advantage. Dude is telling you how to get enlightened. like it's not his fault that he doesn't broadcast it and lure people in with it. He just states it because it's truth. It's not trying to be sold. It's not a lie. A lie needs to be sold, you know? The truth simply is. The devil tells tales of 10 million years ago, there was an atom, and then there was a big bang, and then there was Atlantis, and then the tablet of. He's trying to sell you glory, he was glorious. God just says, in the beginning, there was heaven and earth, and I said, let there be light. It's simply what happened. It's what was. It what is. The wise man hearing them will gain more wisdom. The discerning man will learn to be adroit. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Clever or skillful in using the hands or mind. You know? I'm not gonna say too much on that one. But yeah. For understanding proverb and epigram, the words of the wise and the riddles, you know. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. If Nimrod feared God, he would have known the futility of his works, you know. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. Fools reject God. The fear of God leads to the beginning of knowledge. Knowledge hasn't begun in those who don't fear God. That's the trick. Like Nimrod will have known, I'm building a kingdom that won't last. And that's why Jesus knew the kingdom I'm building will never wash away. Peter, this rock and the church I build on you, although it's been infiltrated, it will never wash away. It still stands, regardless of the countless serpents infiltrating. But yeah, my son, heed the discipline of your father, and do not forsake the instruction of your mother. For they are a graceful wreath upon your head, a necklace about your throat. So this part is where it starts to get interesting. He says, my son, you know, he starts addressing us as our heavenly Father, because in a sort of sense, these words Solomon is getting are straight from God, you know. He's being used as a vessel of communication, a mouthpiece of God, if you say. So he says my son a couple times, and then when he says the discipline of your father, it doesn't necessarily mean like him, like he discipline of Solomon. He the discipline of the same Lord, the same God. That discipline. What did I talk about before in the previous episode? Direction. Like, will you listen to the discipline of God, or will you like be your own God and try and direct yourself? But you're not omnipotent, omniscient, or omnipresent. So it's gonna be hard to do that, you know, to play the role of God when you're not God. For they are a graceful wreath upon your head, a necklace about your throat. My son, if sinners entice you, do not yield. If they say, come with us, let us set an ambush to shed blood. Let us lie in wait for the innocent without cause. Like Sheol, and I did some reading on Sheol. So Sheol is a place for the dead. Yeah, I'll read here. In the Hebrew scriptures, the word used to denote the realm of the dead is Sheol. It simply means the place of the dead, or the place of departed souls or spirits. So the Greek equivalent is Hades, and then you have I don't know about this. If Sheol contains heaven, I don't know. I have to research to that. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive. Like Sheol, let's say Sheol represents death. Just take that life from them whole, like those who go down into the pit. The pit. We shall obtain every precious treasure. We shall fill our homes with loot. Throwing your lot with us, we shall all have a common purse. This verse, these two verses are very interesting because you see it talks about a certain group of people, the SOS. These are the things they say. We shall obtain every precious treasure. Look, they set ambush to shed blood. They persecute and kill the innocent without cause. Not in a war, not in it's even, although there's no need for those things anymore. Not even in a sacrifice, not in nothing. Just in not even in how will I put it? Not even in a convicted crime. Just to be what? To be sinners. To be sinful. They kill. We shall obtain every precious treasure. We shall fill our homes with loot. Throwing your lot with us. We shall all have a common purse. We shall all have one currency. Come gather under us. Let's have one order, and we shall obtain every precious treasure. Yeah, sounds like a bunch of people I know. Not personally, but I've heard rumors about them. My son, do not set out with them. Keep your feet from their path, for their feet run to evil. Like, wow, I can't believe Solomon predicted the SOS, the synagogue of Satan, while his dad was king of Israel. So like, he didn't even know, like 3,000 years later, a bunch of terrorists will infiltrate Israel. Yeah, let's keep it pushing. For their feet run to evil, they hurry to shed blood. Why? Then there's a hidden nugget in this one. In the eyes of every winged creature, the outspread net means nothing. So, oh my, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the God this guy worships is the true God. Like, your God is fake. Like, your God is fake. Your God is fake. When a fisherman casts his net over the fish, how can those who soar on the eagle, how can those who soar the mountains like eagles, how can they be affected? There's a verse that says, a mount is up on the eagle's wings. Like, when they cast up traps and all the snares, how can those under the protection of God, under the umbrella of Christ, how can they be touched? It only falls on like the atheist. Like, unfortunately, they shall mount us up on wings of eagle. Exactly. Let's see. Isaiah. Let's read King James. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You know, those who wait upon the Lord, they are the winged creatures. The cast net of the SOS means nothing. Like, when you see them entice you to evil, come, change your gender. It's all good. You're like, obviously, the Lord doesn't want that. So why would I do that? You know? You think their outspread net means nothing, and then they lie in ambush for their own blood. They lie in wait for their own lives, you know? At first, this same people who this verses chapter is calling out so clearly, they're trying to lead astray the entire world to so that it's very tricky. It's like you lead people astray so that they're not under the covering of God, and then you strike at them like a viper, you know, like Adam and Eve. I'll give you an example, concrete. If Cain and Abel were born in the garden, we won't have a cursed generation of Cain. Abel will have had a very blessed generation that will be alive today, and Seth too will have had a generation. But the serpent tricked them, made them come out of the covering of God, and then when they were outside the Garden of Eden, he made Cain destroy Abel and made him also destroy himself by drawing curses. You get me? So that's what they're trying to do. But in trying to like trick people and then spread all this deceit, it's backfiring because your children are the ones falling for these traps. Like, your children are the ones getting I won't say persecuted, getting enslaved by demons. So your ambush is falling on yourself. Like, you're lying in wait to kill your blood, your kin. You're cursed. Like, you're literally cursed. But I move on. Such is the fate of all who pursue unjust gain. It takes the life of its possessor. It does. You have no soul. Like, you don't have to die per se, but you have no soul. Some of you sold your soul for shekels, unjust shekels. You can't retain your life and pursue unjust gain. Solomon said it, it's law. God said it, it's law. You're tripping. Wisdom cries aloud in the streets, raises her voice in the squares. Like me, I'm raising my voice. I'm just joking. At the head of the busy streets, she calls. At the entrance of the gates in the city, she speaks out. This is quite obvious. Like, God, God calls out to us all the time. You know, at the entrance of the gate, at the head of the busy streets, God calls out to us. Wisdom, do you listen? How long will you simple ones love simplicity? You scoffers be eager to scoff. You dullards hate knowledge. You know? Like, I'll look up scoff because that one's an interesting one. Speak to someone or about something in a scornfully derisive or mocking way. You know, a lot of people do this. You tell them about Jesus, they scoff. They're quick to mock. Like the guy on the cross to the left hand side. Like he was so eager to scoff. Like he's literally about to die. In fact, he's already dead if he can't recognize God in flesh. But he's so eager to scoff. Dullards hate knowledge. That man had no fear of God. Therefore, no beginning of understanding. Therefore, he hated knowledge. He hated God. That's why he was so eager to scoff. Like, that hatred could not even just die on the cross. It bubbled up. It's like, are you, so eager to scoff? It's not because you're smart. It's actually because you're daft, And then, this is God talking. You are indifferent to my rebuke. you're so dull and you hate knowledge so much, when God rebukes you, it doesn't count. It doesn't count to nothing. You've gone so off script that when God is like, that's not how the movie was meant to go. Excuse me. That's not how the movie was meant to go. You're like, and, you're so indifferent. Solomon knows about you guys. Like, he's a time traveler. Like me. He knows. Like, he knows the kind of people you are. Then he says, I will now speak my mind to you and let you know my thoughts. Since you refused me when I called and paid no heed when I extended my hand, you spurned all my advice and would not hear my rebuke. Therefore, this one's kind of harsh. I will laugh at your calamity and mock when terror comes upon you. When terror comes like a disaster and calamity arrives like a whirlwind, when trouble and distress come upon you, then they shall call me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me, but not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose fear of the Lord. So it's kind of harsh, but it's the truth. It's what will happen when calamity struck the Tower of Babel and everyone was running helter-skelter, not able to understand, divided. God just sat by and watched. This is the result of your own works. It's sad, that God will not answer us at a time of terror. It's a frightening thing. But some of you don't even believe in God. Why does this offend you? Why are you even offended? Like, that's the script you've chosen, to be abandoned by God and to live a life spitting at Him. You're the guy on the cross to the left. You're on the cross, yeah. Like, cool. Like, no one said you can't be on the cross. But what are you saying on the cross? Blasphemy. When trouble comes upon you and calamity arrives, and then you go call on God, like, it's not gonna help you. Like, you can't find peace. You can't find no joy. You're just empty. You're like, you're just, you're defenseless in the face of terror. Demons attack you at will. And, you have no peace, because all peace comes from God. And that's the same God you choose not to fear. Okay, continue reading. They refused my advice and disdained all my rebukes. They shall eat the fruit of their ways and have the fill of their own counsels. Counsels. This is where it starts to get funny, you know. They shall eat the fruit of their own ways and have their fill of their own counsels. This one I'll say, this is the checkerboard gang, bro. The pointers and the compass squad. You know, books and mountains of knowledge. But to what end? You're full, you're drunk on your own supply. Like, it's wisdom, yeah. Like, your books are full of wisdom. But it's not the wisdom of God. It's your own wisdom. Mind you, I told you in episode 9, you're worshiping yourself. You think I'm just yapping. It's your own wisdom, and you playing God, you're dropping morsels of knowledge. But they shall eat the fruit of their ways and have the fill of their own counsels. Like, it's a bunch of publications from that side. I personally have not read any. I kind of scanned through the one by Pike. Like, I'm not initiated, so I don't I couldn't really, how do I put it? I couldn't really guess at what he's saying. So, but yeah, I've been initiated to the circle of this God, so I understand what he's saying. But yeah, you're drunk on your own wine. That's not the wine of God from God that fell upon the disciples, and they thought, these guys are drunk. You're drunk on a different supply. It might be yours, it might be even worse. The liars. The first liar, you know. But I move on. The tranquility of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of dullards will destroy them, you know. It's like on their deathbeds, most of these guys, they're like, I don't know if it's true, you know, but there are rumors or reports of them like going like, oh, what have I done? Or I'm confused, or I can't believe this is the end, or what? No way. Or I write on my gravestone, the firmament declare, like, you know, a bunch of disturbance at the point of death. But while they had life and were able to turn to the right path, they had the complacency of dullards, you know. They thought nothing was wrong with my doctrines and my ways, and yeah, I can take the beast and the mark of the beast, and it should be cool. But in the end, you'll be confused. You find destruction at the end, you know, because you come to understand, like sure, the director hands off. He's like, okay, hands off. I won't tell you not to eat fruit, or like, Do what you want. But God will judge as He sees fit. No one can stop that, bro. Like, you let me know. You tap me on the shoulder when that changes. When God begins to judge as man sees fit. You let me know, bro. Like, that's for Crowley. You let me know, bro. But he who listens to me will dwell in safety, untroubled by the terror of misfortune. I hope that's me. You know? I hope that's me and my children. Because there are principalities and powers who don't care about you, bro. In your mind, this is how it is. In your mind, you've exalted yourself to this God like, bro, this principality has seen billions of men come and go. It knows that you're not special, bro. You're just another one. It will attempt to bind you in the kingdom of darkness. Only those cloaked by God's instruction, by living the life in the way He says, those are the only ones untroubled by the terror of misfortune. How are they living their life? Let's go back. With righteousness, with justice, with equity. You cannot live outside of this. Like, trust me, I know. You cannot live outside of this and dwell in safety. You cannot pick and choose. Like, you cannot live like the beast, Mr. 666, and die in peace. It's not possible. Your final dwelling place will not be in safety. It will not be in the bosom of Abraham. You'll be snatched up. Terror. Okay. That's verse 33, and that concludes chapter 1. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this for all the chapters. Just nothing too crazy. Just light instruction, and hopefully it helps you, helps you see that, like, sure, you're whoever you are. You're Nimrod, you're Crowley, you're King Ahab, you're Herod, you're Caesar. Cool. You'll be judged accordingly. Like, you're not gonna like jump the gun at the last second. Like, bro, that's not happening. Like, I'm here to help you know, like, if you needed confirmation from beyond, like, I wish someone would come and tell me, like, I'm gonna pay. You're gonna pay. Like, and if I'm no one to, and my words count for nothing, then let's look at the godfather of all this stuff that is leading you people astray, bro. this guy is telling you, bro, you're not as well versed as Solomon, bro. Like in the works of darkness, you're not as versed as Solomon. And he's telling you with his own mouth, you shall eat the fruit of your ways. That complacency you're dwelling in will destroy you. But listen to me, and you dwell in safety, untroubled by the terror of misfortune. That, that's simply it, you know? And like there's that verse that says, let him who has ears hear, you know? No one's gonna force you to do anything. Like all I can do is just speak as I'm led to. Excuse me. And yeah, beyond that I can really do nothing else, man. So yeah, that concludes chapter 1. And I'll see you in episode 12 for chapter 2.